And so this really funny conversation started about a Mortal Kombat character being pregnant.
Well, there used to be babalities, so it wouldn't be that
Yeah,
far.
but
Yes,
we
I
want
know.
to take it to the next point. So the fatality is actually the baby performing the fatality. Like the baby like kicks, like, have you felt my baby kick? And boom! Fatality.
I suppose that's better than like an abortion in
Well,
the
no,
actual
it's
game. I mean,
the
that
baby's
would
still
be-
there. She's just pulling along like katana. So like the baby's like pushing and
I mean,
like,
mom's fighting hard, and
Mom's
then all
fighting
of a
hard.
sudden, you
Baby
know,
is
it's
just
time for a
helping out.
fatality.
I swear to God, I've seen that somewhere.
Internet.
Someone has
Tell me
done
where.
that.
There needs to be a thing where the internet. There you are, internet.
There you are, internet.
One of these days, I'll figure out what camera to look at. Your project for the week is to make that happen. The Mortal Kombat pregnant katana baby fatality.
fatality.
Well, that sounds horrible, doesn't
Fatality.
it? That sounds horrible.
Death by fetus.
Oh, death by fetus
Yeah,
is
Death
better.
by Fetus
yes.
is much better. It definitely asserts
Oh,
who's being
God, I
killed.
don't even like
It's,
by
it's
whom.
the DBF.
DBF.
What happened to him? DBF.
DBF. That should be a thing. If that's not a thing, but it's not. It's
That
not.
really
preggers.
shouldn't be a thing.
It,
It should be.
No.
okay, are we just going to call it? It's not going to be a thing. All right,
The
internet.
line is not
You don't have
anything
to.
that I have anything to do with in general, but no, let's not make that a thing.
Just not make it a
Welcome
thing.
to DotGeek.
Oh, there's a show. We do a show where we talk about.
I am Danny Danger.
I'm Mark Gardner. Hi.
I'm Josh Rubin. How
He's
y'all
over
doing?
there.
This
He
is
does that
Josh.
thing.
And aside from non-confirmed preggy appearances,
It's
in
Predator.
the new-
It's Predator, not
Whatever.
pregnant.
Babies
Predator.
can be predators too. Don't discriminate.
Well, predators must have babies. There is some predator.
In Predator versus Alien, the Predator was impregnated by an alien.
There you go. But that's not really a baby, though. That's a baby of the alien.
It
That's
is
not a baby.
absolutely a
It's a
baby.
baby of the
baby
alien,
something.
but not a baby
How
of the
dare
predator.
you.
How dare you?
Xenoforms need love too.
You're absolutely right.
Especially
I'm sorry.
maternal.
To all the xenoforms watching, I apologize. Our xenoform demographic plummeted. Just like our raccoon demographic last week,
Yeah.
nothing. This week, xenoforms are turning off the TV.
The raccoon xenoforms are probably signing a change.org petition.
They probably
right now
are,
to get us
yes.
off the
There's a
air.
change.org. The raccoon xenomorphs. So the xenomorphs that are impregnating raccoons. What are we talking about? What are we doing?
One thing that we're talking about is I'm guessing your microphone is scratching your neck.
Oh, whatever.
So it's
Here, let me
causing
do
bad
this.
Oh
audio.
no, oh no.
Internet, I'm sorry.
There you go.
I apologize for the...
Well, internet, to make it up for you.
Are
to
we better now? We should be
Yeah,
better now.
to make it
Yeah,
up
are
to
we better?
you.
Hello?
Let's talk about Batman versus Superman.
Because,
Don't leave. I
yay.
swear, this is going to be exciting.
Every time anybody says anything
You know,
like...
I want you to re-intro the goddamn show because we can.
Because we can.
Like, hey, hold on. We sound. Well, there's 3 people watching. It's fine, and I'm one of them.
Thanks
Hi,
for watching.
guys.
Hi.
Hi.
We
Hey.
love you.
Yeah, I mean, this is just live. Testing out of the signal. If we sound better now, then
Well, okay, hey, we're
So-
re-introing the show. Hey, welcome to DotGeek.
Yeah, we know we can start again. As far as I'm concerned.
As far
yes,
as
we
the-
sound better. Will, take it back. Let's toss the graphic
We're gonna
on. We're just going to do a
rewind it?
retake and start again.
We're going to rewind
And yes, it
this.
is Comic-Con week. We will talk about that. We're going to rewind. We're going to replay the open, and we'll be right back. Will, take it.
I'm sort of like anxious. I'm like, feeling lots of feelings of anticipation.
Okay, well, for those of you who are joining us right now, you missed a large conversation about xenoform impregnation and Mortal Kombat pregnant
Yes.
fatalities, death by fetus. I
Yes.
believe
Death
is the
by
topic.
fetus.
I'm Josh Rubin, and now over to...
I'm Danny Danger.
I'm Mark Gardner. Hey, there's our little names down under here with
Yes.
our Twitter handles.
Please be sure to tweet at us throughout the episode to tell us what you think about our opinions.
Yes, and I'll get the notification, so if you see me looking at my phone, it's that or somebody's attacking my portal in Ingress and I'm getting a notification. So,
Also, yes.
if you don't know what that means, I can't help
Yeah,
you.
this is live, man.
This is
This
live.
is interactive television
That's
right
right.
now.
Let's
That's
do
right.
this. All right.
What are we talking about? Let's do the thing.
So, Batman vs. Superman had a really good spread in Entertainment Weekly last week. It was really exciting for me because if you look at the cover, now this movie, I mean, we've been pretty clear about this movie. I feel very meh towards this movie because I would sacrifice the entire cast and crew and production team down to the guy who sweeps the floor just to get Gal Gadot a Wonder Woman movie first. I would
Having
sacrifice
said that-
all of your souls to Satan. I'm
Having
sorry.
said that, the cover of EW.
The cover of EW to
mean-
me says, "We want Wonder Woman." We love. Clearly, the audience loves Wonder Woman.
The
She's
cover of
owning
EW
the
says
cover.
threesome. That is what the cover of EW is saying right now.
God,
I don't know.
different show, Josh.
I can't top that. I can't top Danny DeVito like, God, I hope so. For a threesome of Wonder Woman.
Really heavy on the Bat Superman action.
I don't know, but you know what? You
Anyway.
can't actually say that because you hate Superman and Wonder Woman together.
I do. I hate them together. I think it would be more of one of those situations where Superman would be the third wheel. Where
You
it's
just be like watching, he's like, hey,
Batman
guys.
and Wonder Woman
I'm
are doing
sorry,
their
it's
thing.
not. It's a
and
bat.
like,
It's a bat bottom. I'm
It's a
afraid.
bad bottom.
oh no, I don't doubt that, but that doesn't still mean that Wonder Woman can't. I'm just saying.
Wonder Woman's running that
Pegging,
show,
it's
is what
a
you're
thing.
saying. Wonder Woman is running that
She
show.
lassos people. There's a full-on BDSM thing that's
Oh, yeah.
always
Yes.
been going on
Absolutely.
with Wonder
Yes.
Woman.
She did
I'm
an
just
entire video all
saying.
about Wonder Woman and the BDSM.
Batman can
like,
still
that
be a
kind of
bottom and
stuff.
be with Wonder Woman. In fact, I think when you think about it, everyone take a moment.
And we're all thinking about it.
But so when you opened up Entertainment Weekly, we got a lot of looks at the movie and what's going to be going on with it. One of my favorite, one of the most noteworthy things was that there's a picture of Lex Luthor in there with hair.
Yeah.
Which is really weird because we've already seen. And if I could get that graphic up for the hair, Eisenberg's hair.
There we go. A lot of hair on that.
A lot of hair.
Lot
and
of
it
hair.
looks very wiggy.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure it is a wig,
mean,
but bear in
obviously.
mind, Lex Luthor did have hair.
He can grow hair.
No, but in the 90s, I believe they did bring it, the Lex Luthor in that had hair, receding hairline. Well, original Lex Luthor did have hair, but then in the 90s, like Man of Steel era,
Right.
right before they killed him, there was a whole thing with his clone, and he was the clone of himself, and he had a full head of hair and a beard, and
Yeah, that
nobody
was-
cares because it's
Wasn't he a ginger?
Yeah, no, he's total ginger.
Yeah, like super
Wow.
ginger too, which I did not see coming.
No, I
did
would
not
never.
expect
I never
that.
expected that.
But the original image that we saw of Lex Luthor is the bald Lex Luthor.
Wait,
we lost
Bald
it.
Lex Luthor.
Bald
Which
Lex
is
Luthor.
this is like the Lex Luthor. I mean, this is sort of the picture that kind of convinced me that Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor wasn't the worst idea in the
Yeah,
whole
no,
entire
I think
world.
Because
I
Mark
was actually
Zuckerberg
very-
would totally be Lex Luthor.
Totally, absolutely,
Right?
totally
That's
be
what
Lex
I'm
Luthor.
saying.
Yes.
So my favorite image, and I'm sad that EW did not include this, but my favorite image is actually the 40 Cakes version of
The 40 Cakes Lex
of
Luthor.
the Lex
yes.
Luthor.
That one. If you guys have not seen this meme,
It's my
that's a
favorite.
thing.
410s. It's terrible.
See, I had no idea what this meant. I had to ask you what this was all about because I've seen this all over the place about Lex Luthor taking 40 cakes, and I had no idea that it was actually from a kid's book.
So yeah, there was a kid's book from like way back long ago that just sort of became very popular, and I actually know a few people who have this kid's
I
book.
have small children. I have no idea what
There's
this
a
is.
thing in there. Pull up that picture.
Yeah, it's the other 40 cakes. It's the original. It's just
original
this
Lex
image
Luthor
that
40 cakes.
floats around through like
That's
comic
it.
book shops.
Yep.
And no one was looking. Lex Luthor
That's
took
as many as
40
410s, and that's-
cakes,
Then that's terrible.
and that's terrible.
I'm trying to figure out what Lex Luthor's plan was for 4 cakes.
Going to give the whole world diabetes.
With 40 cakes.
It's something to do with In the Night Kitchen.
Something. Just don't know.
I'm just digging the that's a quality like meanwhile in the Legion of Doom.
Yes, totally. Totally.
So, but I don't know if this image would make it into the movie, but if they throw out to this image, I will just pee myself with glorious laughter.
If they put this image in the movie, I will stand up and applaud.
I just wanted to
them.
say something
And
about
I watch
funny
at the
jokes.
draft
Just
house.
like
I'll get
Jesse
kicked out.
Eisenberg in a fuchsia and green outfit with,
Yes.
with a collar that goes up to there. I mean,
Stealing
No,
cakes.
I mean, just
Stealing
maybe.
cake.
Stealing cake.
Just maybe like a throwaway comment about the circumstance where he stole the 40 cakes. A throwout would be really nice.
I remember that time
do you
in
think they'll
college
get that
when you stole the
that
cakes.
self-referential?
Yes. God, I need it.
That's how I felt about it. I saw Inside Out yesterday.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, emotionally devastating.
Oh my God, I want to
but
see
I was really hoping for an Up reference, and I didn't get it.
Oh,
and
no.
they had the perfect opportunity to do it, and they didn't, and I was very disappointed.
So, is it a spoiler if you tell us where it is?
It's when they get in the dog's head, and
Oh, they totally, yeah.
yeah, they could have totally done the squirrel.
Oh, yeah.
I just want
Something.
that is all I wanted. I didn't get it.
Damn you inside out. Damn you inside
Damn
out.
you inside out.
Well,
For
whatever.
making everybody cry. I mean that honestly, that movie was emotionally exhausting.
I've
it was
heard.
fantastic. I won't do it again.
Well, because you just can't deal with it.
No.
It's the kind of movie, knowing that I cry at Duracell commercials, I'll probably bawl at this thing, right?
I mean, I'm sorry. I was.
There's a Duracell commercial.
It's really the bunny. He's captured. You have a thing against symbols. Is what this all is.
There's a Duracell commercial where some soldier gets one of those bears that like you can record your voice, and he's like, "I love you, baby girl," and she sends it home, and the little daughter gets this thing and keeps squeezing it, but the longer he's away, she gets more sad and she stops playing with it and everything, but she still like has tea parties, and then one day, all of a sudden, she hears the thing say, "I love you, baby girl," but it's really her dad just came home from overseas. Oh, forget it.
And
I
then
was
the rabbit
done.
comes
I
in
was
and
done.
kills them both. Clanging its cymbals, and it's horrible.
Blood!
No, you will cry
Blood
like a
everywhere.
tiny little girl.
Okay.
Like the tiniest little girl, you will
I'm
be
used to it.
sobbing.
I am totally used to
Everywhere.
that.
Please
That's
don't
not-
cry now.
I won't
Children
cry.
will be pointing and laughing at you, asking, "Mommy, what's wrong with the man?"
I have emotions. That's what's wrong with me.
You need to
have a
you need
lot
to
of
stop. You need to
feelings
stomp that
right
shit
now.
down.
Stop with the emotions.
Stomp that
Just stop.
shit
There's
down.
a lot of feelings.
Get out
Tamp
the
it down.
Did
emotions.
she even go to this school?
What are we talking about? What's
So
next?
anyway, back to Batman
We're talking about
versus
Lex Luthor,
Superman.
but now we're on.
So now, one of my favorite teaser images, and it's just a little image, but it is Diana dancing with Bruce Wayne. And if I have to choose a Wonder Woman ship like in the DCU, I definitely love her and Batman together.
Mm-hmm.
And this image is really great for me. First of all, because it actually proves that that Diana is going to be in the movie. Like I really don't know if they could have photoshopped her in that way. So I feel like this is really concrete proof that this is actually going to happen.
I mean, you know why this is in the movie, though, don't you?
Tell us.
Because this is in every fucking DC movie. Is you have two of the costume characters dancing together.
That's true.
They both know that the other one is, but they don't say out loud that the other one is. It's Catwoman and Batman
Yep.
in the second Tim Burton film. It's
Catwoman and Batman in
Catwoman
the
and
third.
Batman again in the
Yes.
Batman,
third Batman
Christopher
movie.
Nolan.
Like that's
It
what
happens
they do.
in
That's the
Justice
thing.
League Unlimited as well. There's an episode where
Whereas
Wonder
Batman
Woman.
and Superman are dancing together. And it's
Yes. No.
There she goes
Stop
again.
It,
You gotta
guys.
stop that, Josh. She is
Seriously,
not gonna be able to make it through the show like this.
But I have a thing about Diana dancing. And I had this issue when I saw the Justice League Unlimited episode, which is she grew up on an island full of women. She knows how to dance. She knows how to do this formal dancing. Where did she learn that on an island full of women? She had to learn how to lead as well. I really, 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 really hope that in this scene, she's leading while they dance. I mean, it would just be so great to see her leading Batman around the floor.
That would
because
be
Bruce
cool.
Wayne is secure enough in his sexuality that he will let Wonder Woman lead him across the
I
dance
actually
floor.
really love the concept of that, like being a scene where they start dancing and she's trying to lead, and he's like, "Wait,
What are you
what?"
doing?
He's like, "I'm leading."
She's like, "This is how I learned to dance."
Is he taller?
Is it easy?
I go back. I
He
go back to
shouldn't
that
be
episode of Next.
taller,
No.
but-
I go back to that episode of Next Generation with the total androgyny planet, where it's like, well, who leads
yeah.
when dancing? Who's ever taller? The taller person leads while dancing.
That is a great reference,
Isn't
Josh.
it?
That is brilliant. I would have never been able to pull that reference out.
What,
But
that episode is stuck in my head forever.
Really, just
I don't know
because
why.
it's-
Well,
okay,
now
it's okay.
in my opinion, I think Wonder Woman should be taller than both Superman and Batman.
She should be. She's an
She
Amazon.
absolutely should be. It's part of her canon history. Darwin Cook really fought in the animated version of DC: The New Frontier, really, kind of fought to have her be taller than Superman. Like, when she stands up, she's supposed to loom over him. He's supposed to look like a regular guy. She's supposed to look like an Amazon. And, you generally think of Batman and Superman being either the same size, but realistically, probably Batman is a little smaller. So, I mean, if you want to get technical here, in my opinion, she should be taller, therefore she should lead. First time I learned to dance, I learned how to lead, and now I just can't.
I feel like they
follow.
haven't done that in the comics in a long
I
time, though.
can't.
They do it with Barda, but they don't do it with.
Yeah, no, they don't.
They do, but they should do it with Wonder Woman. I have this thing about tall women, because I really like wearing high heels, and then everyone is
Thing.
like, yeah, this attraction
We
to.
should call this episode Danny's Thing.
Danny's things. But I not only do I find lots of size women attractive,
Danny's things.
but I, being a tall woman, I'm like 5'10". I love wearing high heels. The higher the heel, the better it is. Super fierce, and people always are like, "Whoa, you're really tall," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's awesome." So when I see other tall women wearing high heels, I feel like we tall ladies are kind of shamed out of wearing high heels sometimes. Like we don't want to stand out or be too tall or look outrageous, or we're kind of discouraged. We're always encouraged to wear flats at like formal events, and I don't subscribe to that. I am a big fan of getting the aerial view, and I could see how Wonder Woman. I like to think that Wonder Woman would be.
I've got a little bit of perspective on the heel thing, believe it or not. Because, little known fact, I spent a lot of time working with volleyball programs at like university level and everything. So I knew a lot of women who were 6'4", 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
Put them in a 4-inch heel, and finding a guy to dance with for them at that point was really tough. But they still did it.
Guys,
anyway.
Yeah, but
get it
I mean,
together.
look, I'm the short one here, you know, at all of 5'8", but I mean, at a certain point, you just say, fuck it, and you
let's
get a
go.
pickaxe, and you
You climb that
grab
mountain.
some rope, you climb that mountain. To be fair, my wife is, 5'2".
That's right.
I don't know what that says. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave that there because
All
she
of a
could
sudden there
watch
was
at
this
some point.
awkward moment.
I'm just saying, I have danced. There is something to be said that is very attractive about a guy who is confident and smooth enough not to give a shit that a woman that he's dancing with is taller than him. And I think I like to imagine my Bruce Wayne as that man.
Fair enough. Well, it looks like he's dancing with her, even though she's not.
Yeah,
as
I
tall as
mean,
he is, but
Whatever.
whatever.
So one of the other things that I really want to get excited, that I'm really excited about.
Do we think he's sleeping with Gal Gadot, and that's why his marriage with broke up?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, I'm just speculating.
I'm just.
Well, yeah.
It's not this isn't journalism. This is just me
This is
asking
just you
questions.
I'm just
asking
being TMZ
I'm not
right
trying
now.
to put this out there.
That sounds like so many of those journalists. I'm just asking questions. Is the Army going to invade Texas? I'm just asking. I'm just asking a question.
asking.
That's all I'm asking.
I just want to know.
I just want to know for sure.
So, one of my favorite things that's happening with Batman versus Superman right now is after this recent debacle with Marvel just not wanting to release Black Widow merchandise. Wonder Woman doesn't even have a movie yet, and we're already getting Wonder Woman merchandise, and this is really awesome to me. Because I have a shelf full of Wonder Woman action figures and stuff at home. Like I have the tiara, and like I'm kind of a Wonder Woman freak. But this is super awesome for me, and I love the fact that they are going the Barbie route. I've heard a lot of people grumble and moan and complain that the boys have action figures and the girls have Barbie. And I want to clear something up really quickly because I have very strong opinions on this. Action figures and dolls are not mutually exclusive terms. If you play action with it, it is an action figure. Barbie, people like to really rag on Barbie because she is disproportionate. She's a bad influence for girls. The woman who created Barbie, her name was Ruth Handler, and she created Barbie so that women would have, or so the little girls would have an adult female figure that they could play with and aspire to be. Long before women were commonly in the workforce, Barbie was a teacher, she was a flight attendant, she was a police officer. Barbie is actually a very liberating feminist, like historical figure that really gets a bad rap in today's day and age. And I think it's incredibly empowering to make Barbie a Wonder Woman.
It was also the
Basically.
first naked thing like I ever saw. As a young lad, I do remember stripping down my little sister's Barbie and saying, "Huh, that's a thing." Yeah.
But did you strip down two Barbies and press them under the pillow? That's
your thing.
That was my thing.
Danny's thing.
Danny's
Danny's
thing. We need like a whiteboard or something.
Sometimes Ken joined in when he got
Raindrops
lucky.
and roses.
When he got
S&M Wonder Womans.
S&M Wonder Woman's, Barbie threesomes with Ken.
Only when Ken gets lucky, if he plays his cards right.
If he's lucky, he can join in. Otherwise, it's just
Ken, you
the
can
Barbies.
watch. You sit over there, you watch.
Nah, it's Barbie's little sister Skipper is just, in the
Peeking through the door, he's like,
Scar and Skipper. How do we scar Skipper?
This is
Internet.
post-traumatic stress disorder Skipper.
I watched my sister getting boned Skipper. Like that's
that's the packaging art is just going to be amazing for that,
The
right?
show always goes to a horrible place.
It does.
And I don't know if I bring it there. I don't know what percentage of responsibility do I hold for
I don't know.
this.
I feel like I'm probably the least responsible, actually. I feel like I'm the one to be like, what? Okay.
Yeah, well, you might be on the ride, but you're not pulling it over either. So.
That's true. That's true. I'm just in there going, are we really talking about this? Okay.
What else are we talking about?
I don't know.
So, and in the wake, we've got a lot of Batman versus Superman press, and another thing that came out is, I think people, a lot of the press are really bugging, it's particularly folks on the DC movie end of things, to find out, well, what do you think the difference is between DC and Marvel? And I think we really, as press, we like to sort of pit DC and Marvel against each other. And so the press is really asking a lot of questions like, what makes these movies different? And I almost feel like they're sort of trying to goad stars into talking shit about the other franchise, which is totally probably very true and newsworthy. But
I don't think so. I think DC's are trying to get press.
Also, well, it could be that.
I think DC's just trying to stay relevant.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Fair. So Ben Affleck made some comments about, basically the differences between DC and Marvel. And it really reiterated what some other folks from DC have said about, the Marvel movies are great, but DC really strives for realism, and to me this is like they're substituting the word real for gritty because they have been mercilessly made fun of for using the word gritty too much. So now they're going to use real instead of gritty, and I would just like to send a message out to the audience at home. Stop trying to say that your superhero movie is more real than the other superhero movie. It's not real. It's fiction. It's the opposite of real.
Okay,
I do not think that word means what you think it means.
When they say real, though, I mean, when you're making a superhero movie, you are developing a world and you're asking your audience to have a level of suspension of disbelief.
That's
now,
engaging.
I'm not done. Gosh.
Okay, right.
This suspension of disbelief. Now, within that world you're building, you want people and things to react in a realistic way. DC is saying that this is how people would react realistically if an alien came down, destroyed half the city, and a super rich billionaire whose parents were killed decided to become a vigilante. They're saying that's what it would be. The problem that I have with that is, okay, I get it, and I actually kind of support that, but that's also saying that there's no room for humor in this world. There's no room for any light.
Yeah,
and that's what bothers me.
They keep saying it's real, but then there's like no happiness. And
exactly.
I'm like,
I mean, this picture sums
real.
it up. It's like the DC versus Marvel is like, oh, my parents are dead, versus, hey, Pantene
I have
Pro V.
beautiful hair, yes.
I mean, I think the argument could be made that these are not happy people.
Well, that's true, yeah.
That is probably should be committed. I mean, this is not a normal person.
You're right. I mean, Batman, he's not all there, guys.
No, and I completely agree. And when you're looking at just the Batman movies, I think that comment is absolutely appropriate. However, just the color filter that they put on the entire first Superman movie to make it so downhearted. The first Superman movie was a drag. It was a bummer.
We need to talk about that color filter thing because that's not real. The color house that put that out, because, okay, for those of you that don't know, there was a thing that came out that they were talking about how Superman really looked. And they took the film and they said, this is what we saw in the theaters, but we were able to figure out that this is what they actually shot. And one of the theaters was very dark, very blue and everything. But when you look at that, that was not what was really shown in the theater. That color house changed the footage. What we saw in the theaters was not that dark, was not that blue. The color house even came out and apologized for that later.
So did Danny actually see the movie, or did she just watch the previews?
No, I saw the movie.
Okay.
I did. I saw the movie. I was... And I mean, it was really like the most meh experience. I mean, that's really the only word I can come up for it. I liked Amy Adams as Lois Lane. That was really all I could get it. And even then, I would have much rather just watch her be Lois Lane for 2 hours. I just wasn't involved. I wasn't engaged.
I like Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor.
There were some things that I really liked about that movie, actually. I mean, I don't think it was a great Superman movie, but there were some things I really liked Superman as a kid. The stuff that they took the time to show when Superman as a kid was learning to deal with like that hearing everything and just locking in a closet, just like, I don't understand what's happening. This is crazy. I love that.
Bringing this back to the real argument, though, I don't think you can make that argument when you've got Marvel putting out Daredevil.
Oh, that's true.
Exactly.
Oh, really good point. Yeah,
because Daredevil is hyper real.
Oh,
At least, really the first chunk of Daredevil.
Right.
The real versus not real, I tend to agree with Danny. I mean, it's a superhero movie. As long as it's internally consistent, then I'm
That's fair.
happy.
I think the difference in what you're talking about, the word, when you say real, what you really mean is relatable, like comprehensive, like good. It's not going to be any more, I mean, you say that you want characters reacting as realistically as possible. No, I mean, realistically, the world would freak out a lot more than what's going to happen in that movie. Like,
Probably so.
I mean,
Now, the one thing I will say, they were talking about, when they were talking about the plot of this movie, I found it very interesting. One of the criticisms with the first Superman movie was how much destruction was laid waste to the city in that battle that Superman had. And they were talking about
it's a setup for this movie.
It is a setup for this movie, and that's apparently one of the things that has made Bruce Wayne angry, because one of the buildings that was destroyed was one of his buildings, and a lot of people that he knew were involved in that and were hurt or killed in that thing. So I thought that was very interesting, and it actually makes sense on how this setup is working at this point. That's what I'm looking for, I guess. I guess I just want stuff to make sense. Like, I want their actions to make sense in whatever world you've created.
Yeah,
if you're creating
internally
weird,
consistent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you and I actually probably agree, Josh.
I just sort of feel like this was another opportunity, or this was another circumstance where DC's like, well, I mean, Marvel's great, but we're going to do it better in this way, even though we have nothing to show you to prove that we're doing it better, because everything we have so far that's not made by Christopher Nolan is meh. Like, I'm just meh. So it was really interesting to me.
It is interesting. But ultimately I think it's just DC just trying to say, like, no, pay attention to us. Pay attention to us, really.
I do think you hit the nail on the head. They're just trying to stay relevant. You know, it was just like, oh, there's a conversation being had. We would like to be a part of it, please. Somebody pick me. Anybody? Anybody?
No? Okay.
Yeah, well, it's also, Disney's killing it with the Marvel properties. Time Warner wants a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can't really blame
Disney's got Star Wars and the Marvel properties.
they own
Time Warner
media
had Harry
right now.
Potter.
Yeah.
Don't know more.
Nope.
They had the Christopher Nolan Batman. They don't know more. So they need their big franchise.
So the new Harry Potter spin-off story is not going to be Time Warner?
I have no idea. But
Okay.
The play or the
No,
movie?
the movie.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's.
I don't know
doing
anything
that.
Magical
that.
creatures shenanigans.
I would say it's probably WB.
I just want crossovers. Like Disney can cross over now. Star Wars and Marvel can cross over with Mickey Mouse somewhere in there as well. Time Warner can basically do Superman with Finn and Jake.
Oh, yeah,
because
there you
that's the same thing. I'm wondering what else we could combine. Who else does Time Warner own?
Oh God, we need a chart of all.
Yeah,
the
you really
things.
do.
There's no way I'm going to be able to tell you something off the top of my head that Time Warner.
I'll mind map this shit. All right, next topic.
Time Warner owns my internet, and it pisses me off just for the
Different
rest of
company.
Me off, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Different
I
company.
guess. I'll just blame the name.
So I wanted to have a conversation. Something came out this week about Stan Lee. There's a Call to Heroes program that they're doing where basically they're setting up green screens in different cities so people can film their own superhero content, but they really want it to be like new, and the call calls out for like stories that are new and characters that we've never seen before.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we should be really clear because what it's called is the World of Heroes.
Yes.
Call to Heroes is something different.
World of Heroes has been around for a while.
World of Heroes is what he's made a partnership with his production company, POW Studios, is working with YouTube, with the YouTube creator spaces, and he's going with the worldwide one. So with the YouTube space in LA, New York, Sao Paulo, London, what's the other one? Tokyo. In those 6 creator spaces, they're letting people come in. For those of you who don't know, YouTube has set up essentially studios, large studios with a ton of gear that YouTube creators can come in and they can reserve time and make stuff there. So what they're doing with this is they're letting people come in, use all the green screen tech and make superhero stories. With how much help from POW, I'm not sure, but they're trying to promote it as such, and I think that's where we get into the discussion.
So there were 2 videos that were posted that have been Call to Hero videos that have already come out, and as far as how much POW Studios has to do with helping them, I don't know that they have a whole lot because the tone of both of these videos was so different. that I don't necessarily see any similar influence happening in them. But I do want to have a conversation because while I'm not too fond, I'm not crazy about World of Heroes one way or the other. It hasn't really put out a lot of content that has just been riveting for me. The two videos that came out in association with this announcement and this call to people to do these things, one of them was just awful. It was awful. It was like awful, and it offended me from like beginning to end. So when you put out, when you are quoted as basically saying that you want a new, different hero, and then the first video that comes out associated with you asking for a new, different hero includes 4 white guys, an invisible girl, and a doctor called Dr. Applebottom.
Female doctor called that.
Female doctor called Dr. Applebottom. You don't want diversity. You want the same campy bullshit you've had before.
But then talk about the second video.
Sorry. The second video was incredible. The second video was really great. It was super compelling. It was, I mean, you kind of forget that you're watching something on YouTube. You just get really drawn into it. Stan Lee has cameos in both videos. And as we all know, Stan Lee is like the cameo king. So what this says to me, what bothers me about this situation is, you know, when you do a cameo, when you take work, when you put your face on some sort of media or entertainment, your name, your face is your brand. Your brand represents your ethics. So when you cameo in a video, even if you're not even in the studio at the same time as all the other actors, when you cameo in a video that is deliberately and outright disgustingly sexist, in my opinion, you're putting your name on that, and people are going to hold you responsible for that. You're condoning it.
He's 174 years old. Bring it down a notch.
I understand.
Grandpa says some crazy shit sometimes. And this isn't even Grandpa saying crazy shit. This is Grandpa popping up in the background of something that I doubt he had very much to do. Somebody is taking Stan Lee by the hand, guiding him to the set, saying, say something, and now let's get you an applesauce. So let's...
That's exactly what this is.
I don't think we can, be too terribly pissed off at Stan, maybe his handlers, But
I do want to talk about how fans view Stan Lee, because I feel like the comic book community and the geek community, especially the geek community that is sort of removed, like that's sort of kind of on the outlier, like we know of the geek community, but we don't know too much about the geek community, or maybe that's not the right phrasing, but I feel like a lot of people in the geek community put this man and his opinions on a pedestal, and they look to everything that he says and does as if he is like the comic book authorita. And to me, Stan Lee is a very, very valuable comic book creator, obviously, for the things that he has done. But he's a comic book creator for a different generation, a generation whose social context is now pretty irrelevant. So, when the kind of person who is a huge Stan Lee fan and thinks that his commentary is still really socially relevant, watches a video like this and sees this character who's called the Flash, who just like his superpower is literally to show his dick to people, I just like... to me, I wouldn't take it so seriously or think it was so harmful if I didn't have friends out there who are probably right at this moment having to delete dick pics off of their phone. I guarantee you, statistically,
your friends
I know
need to be
a woman.
more discriminating about who they give their phone number out to.
Or Tinder, or whatever.
Or Tinder,
I'm just saying, statistically out there, I would be willing to bet one of my friends has looked at a dick pic in the last hour, and it wasn't consensual. Like, I have a lot of single friends.
I don't want to get into non-consensual dick pics, but
neither do we.
Can we? That just needs to be a quote under your face. I don't want to get into non-consensual dick pics.
Neither do women. Thank you, Josh.
Fair enough. That's not one of Danny's things.
No,
not one of my things. If I'm not into it, it's probably offensive.
So, I mean, look, again, he is the OG of comic books, and he is from a different time.
A long time ago. In a social setting far away.
And look, you can't, to a certain extent, you cannot hold that, a previous generation to the standard or these, for having these social mores of today. Stan Lee brought the concept of diversity and fear of the minority against the majority into comics.
Yes.
With the X-Men. With like that concept was not explored in any way, shape, or form in comic books.
And the
before
X-Men will
Stan Lee.
continue to always be relevant because of that reason.
Right. But like look, like Jack Kirby hated Greek people. Siegel, Schuster hated the Jews. You can't. I'm making all of this shit up, by the way. All of it is completely made up.
I was about to say, is like, do we have that?
really?
Yeah, no,
for that?
completely made up.
Well, and I don't think it's necessarily that I'm holding Stan Lee personally responsible at this point. It's more like I just want to like write an open letter to his fans. Like, listen, y'all, we need to have a come to Jesus talk about how credible this man's opinion actually is in this day and
No,
age.
we don't. No, we don't. Because nobody is taking the words of Stan Lee as some kind of, comic book Jesus. That's not.
There's not the book of
that's
Stan
not
Lee.
him.
Can we please
It's not
get an
like-
There
animated
is
graphic
there
of
is-
Stan Lee as Jesus?
There is respect.
There probably is one.
There is respect
be.
for history and the past. But nobody is taking their cues from Stan Lee anymore.
I would hope not.
So I guess here's what here's what this boils down to for me. If you are in one of the areas where these green screens exist, please go make a better video. The second video
be
did
pissed
it.
at the people who
There
made
you
the
go,
video,
yeah.
not Stan Lee.
I am pretty pissed at
Because
the people
we
who made
actually had
the
a
video.
conversation earlier, and you're like, you said something, and I hate to call you out for it, but I'm going to because it's relevant now. You said, I guarantee that Stan Lee read that script and approved it. No, he didn't.
Well,
he
we talked
did
about
not
that, and I was like,
read that at
okay,
all.
I get it. He didn't
At
read the
all.
script. But you
He's
know who
just-
did read the script? Is the girl who played Dr. Applebottom.
I'm not going to fault the actor either, because we're almost at the point where we were talking before. It's a fine line between drawing the line at her taking that part and Margot Robbie wearing Charlie's outfit in the Suicide Squad.
But
movie.
I've seen that whole video. I haven't seen any of Suicide Squad. I can't judge I can't judge the entire character based on the outfit. Do I think the outfit looks stupid? Yes. Do I think that a wonderfully written Harley Quinn character can rock that outfit and I won't give a shit about how stupid the outfit looks because it's so well written? Yeah, there's totally a chance that can
All right, that's
happen.
fair.
So
I'll
that
give you
deserves
that.
a fair shake.
All right.
Can that video post-production already being released get less shitty? No, it can't.
No, it can't. And I admit, there is some
I
stuff
don't know,
in
there
that
could be a
video that's
supercut, like that could have been ruined in edit.
The supercut
true,
where
yes.
someone intelligent
The
had something
director's
to do
cut
with
of
it.
that could be amazing.
The director's, was ruined by the studio. I'm
Someone,
gonna be
yeah,
honest, they tried.
someone
Studio
who's
in
met a
there.
girl came back and rewrote the script,
They
and now
cut
we
it
have
for
a better
time.
video for you. I just found it really interesting that the only Supergirl in it was the Invisible Girl. Like,
And that video really was problematic, and this is the one that's showing on here. And the thing that really stood out to me, even more than the apple bottom thing, was when they showed the Invisible Woman. They have this little thing that comes up with their superpowers, and they all have these like X-rays. But the X-ray of the Invisible Woman, straight up, it's like they took
She's
some
doing a
like
life
she's
field?
doing all these like life field things from
Yeah.
like porn stars or something, and that is their X-ray picture
That-
of the woman.
okay,
And that,
now-
I mean, that just shows the mentality behind these creators, and I didn't like it.
now
I didn't
you,
like
sir,
it.
have a past in physical therapy. Can there be negative side effects to frequent life fielding?
Oh my God, yes. That lordosis in your back will hurt you. Do you hear me right now?
So this is a health concern,
This
America.
is a health concern.
A health
You are going
concern,
to have pinched nerves.
America.
You're going to have bad hamstring
Stop life
problems.
felding. Stop
it's,
it.
It's bad for you.
Don't let your daughter's life feld. Don't let your girlfriend life feld. Just don't do it. It's dangerous.
I feel like that should be a song like, mamas don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Mamas don't let your babies grow up to be Liefelds. Don't let them bend backwards and pick
break
up
their
I
own
don't
spines.
know. Whatever. Next.
Okay, so
I'm sorry, Internet. That's a thing that I
in
did.
other
I'm
news for
sorry.
things that keep me up at night, The Walking
My
Dead.
singing keeps you up at night? Okay, sorry. Walking Dead.
No, The Walking Dead is going to be hosting a cruise, which is a horrible idea. Why would you get on this? I mean, I get it, it's a great idea. But why would you get on this cruise? Seriously? No.
I mean,
no.
I assume there have been many jokes about you are the buffet kind of a thing.
Oh,
If
yeah,
there
totally.
hasn't, there will be. Yeah.
I think it's brilliant though, because it is kind of like an ocean con.
It's
like,
LARPing.
I
just a
mean,
giant
it's
Yeah.
it's people
Yeah.
get to like dress up as zombies. They have costume contests. They have concerts, but they have cast from the show on the cruise as well,
Which I think is awesome.
which I think is really great. I think that while I complain a lot about conventions, basically, sucking ass of TV frequently and having way too many TV guests, I think this is actually the perfect venue to have all of these celebrities. This is a brilliant idea.
Is that the next gen of con, like Con at Sea?
Kind of, maybe.
I am so into it. I have so many themed hats.
I mean, it's. I think that there's potential there, and they're not the first to do anything like this. There have been other things that have done cruises. I can just say personally, I have no intention on going on a cruise just because of the food situation. There's been way too many cruises where people are getting sick on those things, and I'm not.
There really haven't been that many.
It sure sounds like it.
Well, that's
Maybe I'm watching the wrong
don't
movies.
trust the mainstream media, folks. They're
That's right.
lying to you.
They're lying.
No, look. I mean, given
We will
the
only tell
number
you
of
the truth.
the number
Shame
of
with our
actual
opinions.
cruises versus the number of people who are getting getting sick.
Yeah.
It's like flying a plane. Like, this is not happening often. Cruises
Probably
are very
so.
safe.
This is my one irrational thing.
Herpes.
Normally I'm very
Now,
irrational.
are you? Yeah.
But
that
herpes
would
on a
probably-
cruise? Then why would I go on a cruise if herpes is the problem on a cruise?
Well, it's not like herpes is going to come and get you. You have to actually actively
Herpes like knocks on the
pursue.
door. Land shark.
I'm coming in.
Herpes gram.
Herpes gram.
Herpes
Let me open that door. Hello, herpes gram.
Herpes gram for Mondo. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is could be a really cool idea. It reminds me kind of like the zombie run things that people will do sometimes, where it's like a run, but you're actually kind of running from zombies.
Well, and I think the whole zombie apocalypse thing actually lends itself more so than other themed kind of cruises or events. Like the zombie thing is very singular in its I guess like in its ability to just make something. I mean, literally, you could host a zombie anything event. You could host a zombie bar mitzvah. Like, I mean, you can do a zombie themed anything.
It's moderately sacrilegious. But you absolutely could.
That's my favorite kind of bar mitzvah.
I'm just saying, we don't have the religion where someone actually literally came back from the dead. So
yeah, all right, yeah.
I think that makes it even funnier.
Zombie baptism.
That's my personal
Zombie
opinion.
baptism. There you go.
That's
All
my
right.
personal.
Zombie
oh my God.
Ramadan. Like, just hungry zombies. Like, you're safe during the day.
Oh my God.
How
Zombie
observant are your
Ra-
zombies?
I don't know.
Zombadon?
Zombadon. Awesome. Oh my
Zombadon.
God.
Oh, this just keeps
That's
getting
for
worse.
you.
But I think this is a really cool idea. I will never ever. You could not pay me enough to get on a friggin' boat with a bunch of people dressed like zombies. Because no.
Not even if you're meeting the cast from the show.
I mean, okay, you could pay me, but I would not pay to get on a boat with a bunch of people dressed like zombies because one of those fuckers is a real zombie, and that's it. You're done. You're gone. Like,
I mean,
that's
that is the
place.
plot of the movie.
That is, yeah.
That is
yeah.
the perfect place.
That's pretty much it.
To
Pretty much
die.
zombies on a cruise ship, disaster.
Now, I think it's a great idea on the whole because cruise ship, self-contained. Self-contained. Everybody zombies out on the boat. So long as the captain dies relatively early and doesn't set it for some sort of autopilot thing.
I think there
that
was
boats
I
can
swear to
maybe
God, I think there
do.
was a level of Left 4 Dead that was the zombie cruise
Oh, I'm
ship.
sure
there
there
had to be
was.
something
There had
like
to
that.
be. There had to be something like that. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, what was the Dead Island video
Yeah,
game?
yeah, yeah.
It's the same kind of thing, I'm sure. It's a great idea. I might do
I'm
it.
into it. If someone wants to pay for me to go, I will go. I will not be paying to be traumatized.
There you go, Internet. If somebody wants to buy Danny a ticket to the zombie cruise.
Well, no, we just need to grow this to the level of popularity that they're actually, they're coming to see us on the cruise.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
we're
There you
like,
go.
we know we want to
just
see you on the
imagine
cruise.
karaoke on the Lido deck
Oh my
with the cast of
God!
DotGeek. I do a fantastic journey.
I'm
Do you
gonna
really?
get
Oh my God!
Go, do it.
so
right now, absolutely
Yeah,
not. I haven't warmed up.
drunk.
You haven't warmed up. I,
have
haven't
not
done my
warmed up.
vocal exercises.
I have not.
Just gotta.
I also recently added a little respect by erasure to my repertoire.
Wow.
It's not bad. Actually, it's not
outstanding.
good, but it's not
But
bad.
hey, that's okay. Very little karaoke.
I do a little bit of Joan Jett, and I've actually been known to do some dancing with myself.
I
Actually,
saw
if I
Joan
get drunk
Jett
enough.
in concert at the Austin Rodeo, which tells you all you need to know about where Joan Jett is kind of landed
In my heart, yes.
At the Austin Rodeo.
at the Austin Rodeo.
Whatever.
It was between.
I'm
It
from
was right
Texas,
after the
rodeo,
mutton
no
busting,
shame.
which is awesome.
It's horrible, actually.
Well, there's no shame
Mutton
in
busting
rodeo.
or Joan Jett?
Huh?
I think we're talking across
We're,
purposes.
yeah, we are.
Next topic.
Sorry about
Next,
the rodeo.
moving on.
So there is a change.org petition going around to bring Korra and Avatar to Netflix, specifically make it Netflix exclusive material.
That is
And
the fucking stupidest usage of change.org
While I
Thank
have
you.
love
ever heard of.
Thank you.
while I
Thank
love
you.
your intention,
Oh God, that's just all over me.
Sorry.
Can I get a napkin or something?
No.
No.
Use a shirt.
It's okay. Anyway.
I mean, that's like, fuck you, internet. Like, I mean, change.org is by and large silly in general and doesn't actually do anything. But I mean, this kind of elevates the level of irrelevance that it has to hitherto unseen heights.
I just don't even, I mean, change.org, when that started off, it was like, hey, let's make a change. Let's let people know what's important to society. And it has devolved into this things like, I didn't like the way that video game ended. Change it. Oh,
yeah, no, because democracy is stupid because it's made up of people.
Yes, and people.
And when I am running the world in my somewhat benevolent dictatorship.
Moderately benevolent.
Until you're violently thrown out and decapitated, I'm sure that
change.org will be a good time.
The abolishment of change.org will be one of the best
First up against the wall.
First change.org.
First up against the wall.
You're out.
First up against the wall. I love the intention here, and as much as I would love to see more content from these creators, the creators have been really open about the fact that they will not be continuing the universe after or that they for the foreseeable future, that they will not be continuing the universe.
They've pretty much said that they're tired. They want to do something different creatively, which I get it. Whether it's, I mean, they've been working Avatar stuff for years, from the last Airbender all the way through Korra.
Are they doing comic books still?
Yeah, they're still the comic books.
All right, then fine. It'll be like Star Wars.
They are, but other people are writing the comic books.
Sure, they are not writing. Joss only wrote the first couple of volumes of the new Buffy one, and then other people wrote it.
It's most of the Avatar stuff has been written by Jean Luen Yang, and then I don't think there have actually been anything released for Korra except for art books.
Yeah, no, there's
no Korra comics. Basically, right now the Avatar comic is looking to fill the gap between Aang and Korra.
Yeah. Which is doing
solve all the problems about, or solve all the questions about where the fuck is Zuko's mom.
Yeah, we found out. If you want to find out where Zuko's mom is, read the comics.
The comic's actually really, 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 really good. And for those of you, if you signed this change.org petition and you didn't read the comics, I'm not usually one of those, you didn't read the comics, people, but if you signed this petition, you didn't read the comics, you're a hypocrite. You have more Avatar content. You just haven't read it. Stop.
Maybe people like TV more than comics.
Read a book.
Maybe they're like dinosaurs and can only see things in motion.
Read a book.
Don't judge.
Read a friggin' book.
Whatever.
Also, I mean, I want to do a change.org petition to bring back T.J. Hooker. With just like a really old William Shatner.
Really old William Shatner, yeah.
But in all honesty, if you want to see more creative content coming out of this universe, it is coming out of this universe. It's coming in comic books. The best, most effective way that you can tell anybody that you want more of this content isn't with a petition that's not going to do any good. It's by spending your money and voting with your dollar and buying the comic books that are actually doing what you're already asking Netflix to do.
And more Avatar fan fiction and cosplay and pornographic satire.
You had me until the pornographic satire.
Of course,
I think
pretty sure we got one
things
of
Danny
one
likes.
of my things.
You
we need a graphic for my things.
You really do.
We'll have one made for next week.
Yes.
Danny's things. But it has to be things. Like uncomfortable quotes.
You got to say like
Danny's uncomfortable things.
Ultimately,
it just makes it sound like it burns when. Never mind.
No, we are all about health. Go get regular checkups.
Yes.
Regular checkups.
Yes.
Danny's things get regular checkups.
Don't lie felled because it hurts. You'll pinch nerves.
Don't lie felled because it hurts.
And it hurts. Lordosis is bad, folks.
So another thing that's really exciting that I do want to talk about before we run out of time is there is a teaser trailer out for the series of Unfortunate Events, Netflix exclusive, and it looks great. Just the way that it's filmed, just the way everything looks, all of these little items, all of these images, and when we tie off at the end with the silhouette of Count Olaf, it gives you this right here, this
That's
little
creepy.
guy in
What
the
is that
jar.
thing?
And
the kill the spider.
Book,
what is going on?
The book is full of feelings and imagery like this that the movie didn't quite capture because the movie went to, we're trying to make this for kids. I feel like it went a little Avatar: The Last Airbender. We're trying to make it for kids, so it's not going to be as good. This show, just seeing this teaser trailer, teaser trailers usually don't do anything for me, but this right here gives me, I'm in.
I never understood trying to take something and for kids and making it less scary. Childhood is terrifying.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
And it's part of the
grown-ups don't cry because of monsters under the bed. Kids do. Like,
I don't know. Now, again, this is not something I read. I'm not familiar with it. it's not a kid's story, is it? Or is it?
It is a kid's story, but it's like the kid's story for Wednesday Addams.
Okay,
It definitely has.
Are you raising a little goth child? Well, this might be the
God, I
you.
hope so. If I were to be like, wanting motherhood just really passionately, Wednesday Addams is the child I want and the child I deserve.
And you would totally goth it up.
Goth it up, yeah.
Black
all the little
eyeliner,
goth
2
children.
years old.
Yeah,
black
goth
and just be
babies.
like, raw,
But I,
little black star in
there
their
is
eye.
definitely. I do think that there is value for this like morbid, dark art, if only for the fact that like I actually really have a great love for this because like I experienced grief at a younger age than most people do. I lost a parent at a young age, and it creates this sort of like in me I have this like there's this dark aspect of the side of like the art that I like and the things that I enjoy. And I think that discluding children from that is kind of like Tim Burton, The Nightmare Before Christmas, watching it as a little kid. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid, and this was even before I lost a parent, before I had a firsthand experience with death. I think that kind of material can be interesting to kids, can be stimulating to kids, can be enjoyable for kids, and heaven forbid that we introduce children to the concept that someone's going to die. Like this whole idea that the kids shouldn't ever.
That's what pets are for.
There you go. That's how you introduce the concept.
But and this series, the book series, is lighthearted enough to be appropriate for children. But people die in the book series. Every family member that takes them in dies, is killed by Count Olaf.
You forgot to spoiler alert that.
I didn't know that. Well, I don't need to watch the show anymore. Thanks,
no, you do.
Danny.
You do. That's not even.
What it boils down to is, at least this is what I'm taking what you're saying, and I kind of agree with this. We need to stop babying our kids.
Yes.
Just in the story, we need to stop babying our kids.
Because it's watering down our content, and those books.
It's watering down
their
their lives.
Yeah, it's watering
Screw
down
our
their lives.
content. I'm worried about the kids.
Again.
The only one with a kid.
As the only one
Here we
in
go.
this show with kids, let me state unequivocally, yes, you love them unconditionally, but they ruin everything. Your good time. I went to the dentist, okay? And
you're a kid.
And I enjoy going to the dentist because they gas you, and that's a good time. I enjoy that now. But my dental hygienist was
so much.
pregnant, and she asked me, "Hey, I'm pregnant. My doctors told me I shouldn't give gas. Is that okay?" So because she was pregnant, I couldn't have gas. Other people's kids will ruin your good time. Again, you love them
That's true. I've
unconditionally,
worked service
but
industry
they
long enough to know that.
completely fuck up your shit, just constantly. So, yes, scare them. They deserve it. This message was brought to you by
Bye.
the letters
too.
E and the numbers.
Somebody needs to gift that.
But I am.
Gift it,
I
I'll
am
save
really.
for you.
I am just so on board with this series because I think it's going to take the correct approach to the content that makes it valuable and good, and just what the books meant it to be. And it's not anything against the movie. The movie was great for what it was, but it wasn't the book, and this looks much more like the book. And I'm glad that Netflix has taken it on because I can binge watch it until 4:30 in the morning for 3 days straight, because that's what I'm gonna do.
When is this coming out? Do we know when this is hitting?
Do we know when this is hitting? I don't think we know when this is hitting yet.
Stand by, I've got the internet.
Yay!
But the
internet,
teaser
the
trailer
thing.
has come out very soon after, like pretty quickly after the announcement that. I feel
Yeah,
like it was
yeah,
only
because
3
the
weeks
announcement
ago.
was only a few weeks back.
Yeah, that they announced it, and that's one thing I love about Netflix, man. When they say they're going to do something, they don't make you wait.
just do it.
They just do it.
Like, yeah, we're
In
totally
fact,
gonna do
they release it early sometimes.
Yeah, that was like Orange is the New Black.
Released early for good behavior.
Boom.
Like, I mean, come on,
Yeah, that
Netflix.
was
You
amazing.
kind of are
Good
my
job,
favorite.
Netflix. I do kind of love Netflix.
Hold a minute.
right now.
Hold on a second. According to, I'm just seeing this update. A representative from Netflix told EW that the company was not responsible for the teaser trailer, as it like somebody else did the.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow!
Wait.
Breaking news! Breaking news! Apparently not a Netflix. That sure. Wow. That's very interesting because whoever did it
Really?
did a damn fine
Have they
job.
hired someone to do the show? Because
I mean, it could be nonsense, but
maybe they should.
Maybe because that looks like. I mean, even the Netflix logo. It's not straight up Netflix. But I mean, that's some
You
high quality
call
work
this
for like
fan
fan
art. I call
stuff.
this a job application.
That's true.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean they're hell. That's how what's
This
his
is your
name
cover
got,
letter.
Who's the guy that did District 9?
Well, also, where's
Neil
this thing
Blomkamp.
being hosted? So,
That's true.
yeah. I'm not going to get into this right now. But
Yeah, that's
kind of
interesting.
neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I'm
actually
sure
kinda
this.
hope
I'm
this
sure
is-
this is just kind of like they had to have made this. I can't.
They
picture
had
Who
to.
has this house?
Yeah, right, exactly.
I want that house.
I mean, there's just too
Weird.
much that says.
Very weird.
I'm a weird, creepy person.
Yeah, you are.
Nice to meet you. So, there is one other thing that I want to say really, really quickly because it's news to me and it's probably not news to anybody else. But this weekend at the Anime Expo, they announced that Princess Jellyfish is going to be a manga in the United States. I'm really, really excited. Okay, we can move on now. I just really needed to say that out loud because.
I don't read manga, but she loves Princess Jellyfish. Like, if her...
I'm glad they know that you read manga. Do you watch anime too?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We'll talk
So,
about that
so yes. The anime is really, really good. If you've never seen it, it's incredible. It's also one of those animes that just stops in the middle without telling you anything that's happening. It's like, oh, you shipped these characters. You will never know if they get together unless you learn Japanese. Well, now not anymore. Now I don't have to learn Japanese. Now I can read it in English.
Ahoyo gozaimasu.
Yay.
Whoa! You just like blew my mind with that. What did you just say?
I don't know. Do itashimashite. I have a friend who's a legitimate Japanese like celebrity. Like she's huge in Japan. She's like the Sarah McLachlan of Japan.
Oh wow,
Her
that's
name's
kind of
Angela
awesome.
Aki.
That's kind of awesome.
It is
because I
kind of
love
awesome.
Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah. She's very good. I mean, she's not Sarah McLachlan.
I'm just not surprised that came out of your mouth in the
Sarah
least.
McLachlan's awesome.
Not even a little bit.
I mean, if it's not, I mean,
I've been to a Lilith fair. I've been.
Have you really?
I
That
really
sounds like
have.
fun.
It was. Yeah, I know I have. It was Indigo Girls and Sarah McLachlan, and for some reason Christina Aguilera was like one of the opening acts, which that should tell you how old I am.
Wow, she was an opening act.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, that was a long time
Baby.
ago. What did you sing?
Nothing. What'd you say?
Genie in a bottle, baby.
Oh, that one, yes. That was amazing.
All right, video of the week.
Video
So,
of the week, yes.
this video of the week is to give you hope.
Short.
It's very short, but it's this. So this is Haley Atwell and Billy Piper singing "Salt and Pepper's Push It."
Hey,
All
Will,
is
can you turn the
right.
audio on for this? I don't know if you can, but give it a shot.
Everything
Yeah.
is right in the world. You
Basically,
guys.
they're saying, if you guys have not looked at Dubsmash, it's kind of blowing up right now. Dubsmash is everywhere. Where basically, it's an app you get on your phone, and it will have these loops that you can dub over your video. And that's what they did. Haley Atwell and Billy Piper doing "Push It" by Salt and Pepper, and it's kind of perfect. It's kind of perfect, and it really makes me want Billy Piper to be in the second season of Agent Peggy Carter.
And Kiss Peggy.
Well, I didn't say that, but sure.
Must everything.
Yes!
be
Everything
girl-on-girl
for her.
action for you?
Yes.
Everything is girl-on-girl action
Honestly.
for Danny.
No,
Everything.
in Agent Carter, though, to be fair, I do feel like it's relevant.
How?
It should be relevant.
I don't get that at all.
seriously, okay,
She's canon
so-
straight.
So I do want to have a conversation really quickly about the amazing power of salt and pepper, because if you are now, salt and pepper has been around for a while, but like when I was like the first time I heard salt and pepper, I was really, really little, like way too young to feasibly be listening to salt and pepper. But it doesn't matter, didn't stop me. I still listen to salt and pepper a lot. I would just like to go on the record saying that way ahead of their time from a feminist scope, and music's still totally relevant and amazing, and that is what I will be listening to in the car when we leave here.
I don't have it in my car. You're riding home with me.
You just lied to all these people.
Mark doesn't think that we will be listening
Lied
to
to
salt and pepper.
All
on
these
the way
people, you
home.
lied. You will not be. We'll be listening to Taylor Swift.
I control what my phone does. You control what your phone
Are you
does.
just gonna be sitting
89,
there?
89 games in the Twitch chat would like to know, did Danny just promote girl on girl in a positive manner? Is
Yes.
this real life?
Yes, this is
Oh
real life.
yeah, she promotes girl on girl in a positive manner every day.
Constantly.
Girl on
As
girl,
long- like, look,
boy on boy.
As long
gender
as,
androgynous on
long as
gender,
it's being
whatever.
done by equals and is body image positive, yeah, just
Consensual?
not
Yes.
do it.
Consensual.
Do it.
Into it.
Girl,
Into it.
She's pretty much in
So one of the things that you should know about me is that I am that I identify as bipansexual. So that is a thing that I talk about.
Means you do it with the Panfear flute.
Yes, I am basically like a gay Peter Pan.
That is amazing. Rob's voice. I know you're out there watching Rob's voice. That needs to be a thing. Right there, Danny
The
Danger.
gayest, the most flamboyant
gayest
image
flamboyant
of Peter Pan with
Pan
my face on it
with
and
Danny's
some
face.
glitter. And then we need to find the girl who does the glitter art here in Austin and get it just on a giant canvas.
Oh, like stuff
made
you get at
entirely of
the
glitter.
conventions?
Yes,
That'd
like
be
the glitter
perfect.
portraits.
Are we
This is
talking
the
now?
thing.
Are we talking like a male gay Peter Pan that is you, or are we talking
Yeah.
like Sandy
Well,
Duncan,
I
girl
mean-
playing a guy playing a gay guy?
I kind of like.
Kind of all of it, but I do actually like a really, really gay man with my face over
Disney
his
Peter
face.
Pan or musical Peter Pan?
Let's go musical Peter Pan. I think
Okay,
musical Peter Pan fits more.
okay, I can work with that.
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
seem more like a
Sexually.
musical Peter Pan.
No,
This show.
Oh,
This show is all about. But you're welcome.
This
Who
show.
said that comment? Somebody 89 games.
89 games.
Yes.
89 games. You're welcome.
Yep.
You are welcome.
Push it.
Push it real good.
Da, 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 da. All right, that is
Take
it
us
for-
out on
That is
Soul
it for
Pepper.
DotGeek
Dun, dun,
for the
dun,
week.
dun, dun.
We will see you again on Wednesday, because apparently we're doing this a lot
Twice
now.
a week now.
Twice a week, Monday and Wednesday.
It
Really
says
proper.
now 3 days a week.
3 days a week.
That's what it says on the actual Twitch thing.
Surprise!
Apparently
We're 3 days
doing
a
this.
week.
Are we doing this Friday? I don't know. We might do it 3 days
Maybe
a
we'll
week.
do it 3 days. I don't know. Push
we'll
it
fig-
real good.
Take us home, Will.
Push it real
Salt and
good.
pepper's here.